Welcome to my first YouTube video of 2024. So, what brought me to doing this video, I completely went cold turkey on everything last year. I cut my hair. As you can see, I went with a bob, which is already getting long, so it's about time for another trim, which my hair grows really fast, so I'll probably be getting it trimmed like once a month to keep it short. I stopped doing influence and I had just started for the second time. Let's get into let's get in my business. All right, so I wrote down what we're talking about today because I'm trying to be more intentional with what I'm doing. But I felt led to just get on here and talk and just be myself so you guys can get to know me. First of all, I felt completely stressed. When I first started, I actually got into it because I love fashion, I love makeup, I love hair, I love beauty stuff. So that's how I got into it. I've been into fashion since I was a little girl. Like, it's just something that I've always liked to do. So I pretty much got into it. And I remember my brother, one of my younger brothers, was like, just do it. You got to give like you can do it. Like, you're good at it. Just do it. Just start recording you getting ready when you're going out. And I was like, okay, I guess. I've always wanted to do it, but I was always kind of scared of starting is usually always the hardest part for most people, at least for me. So starting, I would record something and then I would delete it. Or I would record something and then be like, oh, the lighting was horrible. And then I would record something and then I would be like, but it looks a little, and then I would delete it. I went through that for a minute. I would text my sister and be like, I recorded something, but I don't think I'm going to post it because it just don't look like I wanted it to look, like how it was supposed to look for a starter. Like, if you're starting something, it's not going to look like probably what you want it to look like at first. But anyway, so my brother inspired and motivated me, kind of pushed me to go for what I was already doing anyway, what I was already good at. And I really, when I started, I really did enjoy filming. It was easy. I'm getting ready to go somewhere. I'm going out. I'm getting ready. I might as well just cut on my camera and record. So it was something at first that I was just enjoying. Like, it was fun. It was an easy like hobby that I picked up. Wasn't a big deal. And I think I filmed doing that for about 9 months before I started thinking about the money part. Because like I said, at first I wasn't really thinking about it like make the money kind of job, like turn it into something. I just knew I liked it. And then once I started looking into influencer and looking into how you can get paid, and then I was like, oh, so this could be a job, or you could get paid for this and you're already doing something that you love. So then I think that's when it started getting a little complicated for me mentally. I guess because then I started overthinking it. I started following people and pages and people that inspired me, and just so I could keep up with what was going on. But then I feel like it started to bother me with comparison. So fast forward, that kind of played into my mental health, I guess, at that point. Because anybody knows, like, if we're being honest, if we're all doing something, most of us are doing a lot of the same things, and we get caught up in comparison because we're looking at the people who, one, have already started and way ahead of you. Two, the people who are probably just starting and you feel like they're still doing better than you. Or three, just not being where you think you should be. So a lot of that was playing in my mind. I just thought, if I wasn't getting a lot of views, or if I wasn't getting the feedback, or if I wasn't um, doing what I think I should be doing, or even getting the feedback that I thought, oh, this video was great, why am I not getting? And that was all of the wrong reasons to be doing it, because once you get into it for those reasons, um, views, and if you're not passionate about something and just enjoy it, it's going to turn into something else. And like I said, at first I enjoyed it. It was simple. It wasn't no pressure. But once I started getting into the money part of it and looking at other content creators' pages, and it got a little complicated. So I started projecting on what I was doing versus what other people. Oh, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. We're all doing the same thing. You know, I started talking small talk to myself, like, but in a way that it was making me depressed and self-doubt and insecure. And all of that was just not working out for where I was headed. It just was not. So take care of your mental health. Like, sometimes just because you are good at something and it's for you, take your time with getting into it, or while you're in it, just try to remain who you are. Because, and it's easy to say that because I did it. It's easy to say stay true to yourself, don't get caught up in all the fads and all that stuff, but it's true. It's true. Like, I went into it with no plan. I just started. Like I said, my brother encouraged me to do it, so I just started, and I kind of just lost my way. So that's what happened. I lost my way. So I would say take your time in anything. This is not just in content creating. In any field, any job, anything you're trying to pursue, write down some ideas and things you want to see happen that you can come up with, that you can execute, and like stick to that, and take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Do not feel rushed. Do not speed up the process. Pray about that thing. Get in conversation with God. That's the first thing. Get in conversation with Him and ask Him about the things that you want to do. And He'll give you the answers you need to let you know if you should even proceed with doing it. That's another conversation. But anyway, after all of that happened and I started feeling a little unfulfilled, I didn't have a lot of inspiration and motivation, and I didn't have a team, I didn't have a partner, a spouse, or any of that to like uplift what I was going through. And I think it's important. Some people might say that are doing this might feel like, oh, it's not a big deal. For me, in my personality, in my character, I actually have to have some motivation. I do. And I felt like the way that my brother talked to me and encouraged me and inspired me and pushed me, it made me do something. Not saying that I need that all the time, but I just feel like if we have people pushing us that we love and we care about, that are close to us, it can kind of help along the journey. So that's something to keep in mind too, is to see what kind of crowd and group of people you have around you that can inspire you. And if not, if you don't have that, because everybody that's in your life just don't know how to be that. They, in that area, they might feel like, well, I'm gonna check on her, but they might not understand when you start venting about what you're doing, that job. They might not understand exactly, so they may just be one of those that can just listen and not really give you the proper feedback and motivation and affirmation that you need. So I would say if you don't have that, start getting with like-minded people. Just start finding your people, and then that way y'all can kind of bounce off of each other and you not feel so alone. Because being alone in something that you're creating, whether it's a business, a job, even parenthood, anything that you feel alone in, it's not good results behind it. We need people. We need a group of people in our lives that can help encourage us and inspire us. We just do. So I would say, don't do it alone. As far as having like the motivation and the inspiration and the people around that part. So that's how I feel. I felt like I was alone. I reached out to a couple people. I don't know what I'm doing. And people would be like, you're doing such a good job. I would have, crazy. Like, I would have older women, like over the age of like 45 to maybe like 60. They would walk up to me and be like, "You're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. I love your content. I love your videos." And I'm like, this is not the community of women I was. But hey, that's okay. I mean, I'm 38, so I feel like, but it's okay. It's okay. It was just so unexpected. I'm like, you really watch my videos? Okay, cool, 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 whatever. So that's another thing. Give yourself time to build that community because it's not going to happen immediately. You really got to find out what it is that you're doing and creating, who it is that you're creating it for, and what are you expecting to gain, and what are you going to give. So once you know, once you just have more of a plan of what you're doing, it's going to turn out a lot better. It's going to turn out a lot better for you mentally, I promise. Going fast forward to that, I was going through some stuff personally, and it wasn't like deal breaker stuff. It wasn't like, oh, my world is over stuff, but it was just how it was like. I feel like when I go through things, it's always a lot at one time. It's always like this, and it's just at one time. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. Most people might be like, that's just how it is. Maybe, but I feel like for me, it was like everything happening at one time, like after the next, like after the next, after the next, after the next. And then my son, he started college. So all of that on top of like what I was already dealing with, I got one income. I got one. I got bills, real bills. Like, you can't little girl me. I got real bills. And I have a business. I have a salon. So it was a lot. And then I was trying to keep up in this area with this and make sure the salon and stuff is good. And this area with home, make sure all the bills and stuff are good. And then making sure my son was good because he just started school. And then trying to create content and spending money there. It was just, for me, it was a lot. So I started getting really depressed about it. And I remember saying, I just gotta let it go. I just gotta let some stuff go because this is a lot for me right now. So I started sitting and thinking, what am I spending a lot of time in? I was doing content in my free time, but then it turned into, if I didn't have enough, I was trying to make it work to where, oh, I can hurry up and get home. I remember I did some content on my lunch break one day, and it was horrible. Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. Because taking your time is so important. It's so important. Taking your time gives you good results. And I remember filming that video. And usually I always check my photos, my camera angle, always do like a check before I get done to like final cut stuff. That day I did not. I had my phone positioned in front of the mirror where it was supposed to be, but it was a lot that got cut out because I didn't check. I didn't make sure. Usually I do like a test run is what I'm saying. Like, I'll cut the camera on, film a little bit, like turn, do all the things, and then I'll check it, and then I'm like, okay, good, stay right there. I did not do that today. I set it up. It looked like it was angled right. I started filming. Horrible. Horrible. I still put the content out. It was horrible. And to be honest, it got good. It got good views. It got good feedback, and I'm like, but I guess it was because I wasn't putting too much effort into it. I wasn't like being my picky self. I was just like, shoot the content. I went back to work, edited it, put it up, and it turned out. I didn't really like it, but it got a lot of feedback. So, but I will say, take your time. I would shoot content on my days off, which is usually Sundays and Mondays. Some Saturdays I'm off, but those would be days that I would try to shoot content and do enough to where I can have at least 3 videos and then maybe some photos, and that was working for me. But like I said, I started doing too much. I started stepping outside the plan, going too fast, and things started to show. To me, it started to show. So Nothing is perfect. Take your time and do you. Just do you and be yourself and don't put too much pressure on it. And this is note to self. Like, I'm telling you this, but I had to tell myself that. So when I went through the phase of with my son in college, all that stuff that I said was going on, I just had to step back and I was like, Lord, I can't do this. I need a break before I have a panic attack. So I started process of elimination. What had to go? Couldn't be my job. It couldn't be my job. My job don't really stress me out for real, for real. Like, it don't. I love my job, but it couldn't be my job. So process of elimination is something you do when it's time to take a break for you and it's mental and it's necessary. You have to do process of elimination with things that cannot stay at that time. That is a little bit much, whether it's relationship, friendships. If you work in too many jobs and you can kind of cut back on something, you got to do what you got to do. So that's what I did. Content had to go. And then I had opened up a clothing line that this was my second time. And I'm not going to say it's over, but it's definitely on pause right now. Like, definitely on pause. And I wasn't even embarrassed by it because I knew, girl, you got one income. You're not a millionaire. Where do you think you're getting all this money from? Exactly. So I was taking my own money, which at that point I'm like, okay, I can invest. I'm going to put this much in there. I can invest this, and then I'm going to make it back. Well, I was making it back, some of it. There would be some things I would order. I wouldn't make anything. There would be some things I would order, and it would almost sell out. So I'm like, okay, this is how it goes, because I know before when I had a clothing line, it was the same way. So I was going into debt, but I was still thinking, well, this clothing line, it's gonna turn around. I can talk myself into anything that I want to do, and I can talk myself out of it. Like, it's almost scary. Like, I can spend 24 hours with myself and be hype as hell tomorrow because I done talked myself into $1 million deal with no money. With no money. I have so many ideas and so much creativity. I have to slow down. Like, slow down, sister. Slow down. Like, you can't do it all. Slow down. So that was the first thing on process of elimination was the store. I was like, this can wait. This is not the end of the world. It's costing me money that I need to put elsewhere. Like, my son was getting money from me all the time for groceries, for everything. I was sending money all the time. So I was like, I can't put this much money in here, send him this, pay all these bills, and I just can't do all that by myself. Be wise. Just be wise. So the store, put it on pause immediately. Not a problem. I'd already prayed about it. I was like, Lord, if this ain't it, it ain't it. And he was like, it ain't it right now. Not right now. It was just not right now. Cool. No problem. No problem. First thing. Second thing was content. Content. Gotta go. Gotta go. Because I'm spending money there also. I let the content go because I was spending money there that I did not have. And no, girl, get your life together. So once I started the process of elimination, then I started writing down what I needed to focus on the most, and that was my son being in school and work. So I felt like not being in front of the camera, like recording content, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And I felt like I was not putting aside the time that I needed to just be. I needed to just be. So when I cut all of that out, those dogs. Anyway, when I cut all of that out, y'all, I immediately felt weight lifted off, like relieved. I could just be like, because all of the pressure I was under to get stuff done, to be consistent, and I just didn't have the capacity for that in my life. I just didn't. So I needed time to just be. And then I went through like relationship stuff, and then I was like, where are you? Who are you? Like, At one point, I just didn't know. I felt like I was in like a bubble and I was trying to get out. And I was just like, I would look at myself in photos or even be out in outings and I was just not happy. So at that point I knew like something got to change and it's going to start with me. So I started to change my whereabouts, dig deeper into my word. I started to strip myself of all of the habits that I was doing that wasn't healthy. I started to cut back on my spendings. I literally started on the inside, like seriously. It might sound cliche, but I seriously started with me on the inside. Like, what do you need to do? So that was about about September, October, I started doing these things. I started, telling God, like, I gotta do something different. This is just not working. So once I started doing that, it was a lot of things that I just didn't enjoy no more. It was almost like I didn't even have to say I wasn't doing it or tell myself not to do it. It was just I didn't want to do it. So if anybody is going through like a spiritual warfare, stay there. If you're trying to change something and you feel like you are drained, you feel like you are alone, you feel like you don't even know what's going on, that's a good sign because that means you are headed for a stage of isolation, which is just going to be you and God spending a lot of time together. That's a good place. Like, don't be scared of it. Don't run away from it because I've ran away from it before. Trust the process. Trust God. Go through it. You're on a good start. Like, I promise you, you're going to feel a sense of peace. And you won't even understand it, but it'll just like nothing will bother you. Nothing. So once I got to that point and I went through that season of identifying who I really was, I stripped myself from the weave, the nails. Like these are press-ons because I was spending money at the nail salon. Like, I was going like twice a month. Like, I was faithfully getting my nails done every 2 weeks. And didn't like them. How psychotic. Used to stay around stuff and do stuff we know we don't like and enjoy it. Like, why? It's not that I don't like getting my nails done. It's just where I live, the nail techs suck. They not good. They not. They all do nails the same. Nope. So, I was still going because I felt like, okay, this is part of my self-care. My nails need to look good. I don't want my nails looking crazy. Like, I feel like if I don't have nails on my hand, look crazy. This is just how I was thinking. And one day I was like, you know what? I'm taking these off. Now, I was actually getting my real nails done and getting acrylic overlay. So it wasn't like fake nails. But even that was costing me, I think, about $60 every 2 weeks. Like $55, $60. No, you spend the extra money. You don't even like it. What? So I was like, I'm taking this off. Took it off. I felt like I had just broke up with somebody because I would look at my hands and I would be like, ew, this looks ill. After a period of time, I got over it. It didn't take long. I was just like, you know what? If I want some nails, I remember I used to wear press-ons sometimes. I was like, I'm going to just give me some press-ons. And when I want to, because I do hair anyway, so I can't even wear them long and work. But I was like, on the weekends when you want some nails and you want to do something fun, go get you some press-ons. Like, I went right and got some press-ons for like $9.99, $10. $10, can't beat that. Can't beat that. And I liked them. And they stayed on like 2 weeks. So yeah, so I stripped myself of like the nails, the weaves, the sew-ins, the wigs. Even though I was doing it myself, it still cost me money to get the hair. Like, so I was like, girl, you got hair. I just used to hate doing my hair because I'm natural. And I work out and it just it's too much. But I was like, if you're going to do this, and I was trying to identify myself to be this different era of woman, you're going to have to figure it out. You're gonna have to figure it out. So I was literally upgrading myself and I didn't really know it at first. But then once I got through that phase of isolation and feeling alone and transforming and, you know, I was like, okay, get back to you. I remember telling the girls at work, I was like, I'm about to get back to me in a sense of not the old me, but like the way I used to like fix myself. I would go to work every day when I first started doing hair. I would go to work dressed up, like hair, makeup, heels, wedges, boots, dress. I was dressed, went to work because you the way you present yourself is what you attract. And I was always told that. My cosmetology teacher literally told me that. So how you present yourself is what you attract. So I was like, when I was going through that phase of isolation, I felt like I looked like a bum. I felt like I looked like a bum. Hobo, homeless. You're not a hairdresser, girl. Who hair you do? Because yours ain't even combed. I was wearing wigs. I was wearing wigs and wasn't even combing them. Who do that? Because never mind. I'm going to keep that to myself. I'm going to keep that to myself. No judgment here. But I would literally put on wigs, having weaves and not combing it. I mean, it didn't look horrible, but I would just like pin it up or something, clip it up, anything. Bags under my eyes, looking tired. My clients would literally be like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "You okay?" And they like, "Yeah, but you look like you're just so tired." I used to get so mad when people be like, I used to get mad. I'm not even gonna lie. I used to get mad because it was like soon as they would see me, because I was going through the things, puffiness, just I looked like what I was going through, literally. And they would be like, "You okay?" One girl was like, "Girl, you look like you so sleepy and tired." And I was like, "I'm not." "Girl, yes you are, because you staying up at night, you ain't getting no sleep. You literally got insomnia because you going through this transition with God. You tired. You ain't getting no sleep. You waking up in the middle of the night. You know what's going on." But when people would call me out, I would be like, "What's wrong? That's rude." But it was the truth. It was the truth. So once I came out of that, I was like, get back. Like once I started feeling better and I knew and defined my identity and figured out where I was going and what I wanted to do with myself and who God was telling me I was, game over. So I was like, I'm cutting my hair. I remember telling the girls, I was like, next year, this was the end of December, I was like, I'm gonna be a different bird. I'm gonna come into work fixed up every day. I'm not gonna be like this no more. They laughed at me and they was like, okay, because they know when I say stuff a lot, like I've been wanting to cut my hair for like a year, and I didn't do it because I kept talking myself out of it. So they kind of know if I say something, they're like, yeah. But I was like, okay, I'm serious. Literally, January 1st was what, Tuesday? It was on a Tuesday, and we worked Tuesday through Saturday. Tuesday, January 1st, I was that girl. No lie. I had already cut my hair, and I was like, I'm doing this. Because I already, like my routine, I already get up at like 5:30, 5:40, 6 o'clock, somewhere up in there to go work out. So I was already doing that. I was still doing that. So I was like, why don't I just take this time? Get a routine with God. Like I would read a devotional literally in the car while I'm waiting to go in the gym. But I wasn't spending a lot of time with God there. I would read it, do my thing, go in. I listen to praise music probably every morning because I've always been that person. But I wasn't really giving him a lot of my time, if that makes sense. So I was like, get up earlier, give him some time, then go to the gym, then go to work. Because I would be like, oh, most of the time, I don't get ready for work and fix up because I don't have time. I get up at 6:15, go to the gym, work out for about an hour, hour and a half. Then I have to be to work by 9. I don't have time to sit there and put on makeup and do all excuses. 30 minutes I was spending time on Pinterest in the morning. Instagram. Filling up carts on Amazon and not checking out. This was all my Delulu era, okay? Don't judge me. I need time for the things that I wanted is what I'm saying. And you can too. You can too. So now I get up every morning and still have that same routine, except I made time to spend time with God. I do about 30 I get ready to go to the gym. I do my workout. I get home probably about 7:45. Take a shower. I have time to throw on some type of face. Like this is kind of like a basic face for me, I guess you could say. It's probably not this dramatic sometimes unless I have to be to work later, but do a little bit of a face, and my hair is wrapped every night. I'm being more intentional. So what you do at your nighttime routine can affect your daytime the next day. It can affect your whole day the next day. So I wrap my hair. It's working out because I made time for it. So, but yeah, that is mostly what I went through when I went through a phase of transitioning and process of elimination. It was so necessary, and I'm so thankful that I did it because I feel so much better, like so much better, like unexplainable. Oh, I started going to church too. I didn't have a church home, but that'll probably be another video. We could talk about some other stuff later. My next point was, if you're gonna do whatever it is that you want to do, make sure it's what your heart desires, and make sure it lines up with what God has gifted you to do. Make sure it lines up with what God is telling you to do, because if it don't make sense, just don't even do it. Like for me, fashion and makeup and hair, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. That's just a part of me, you know. That's just a part of who I am. So make sure whatever it is that you want to do, you're not jumping into it because everybody else is doing it and it looks fun. Because I'm telling you right now, content, a lot of work. Salute to my girls and guys who doing it and successful and got careers, and salute, like, God bless you, for real, God bless you. If you find something that your heart desires and you love it and it lines up with God, it will prosper. It will turn out amazing. It will not be as much pressure if you have a plan. Have a plan. Have a plan, which is what I'm doing. I'm taking my time. I'm getting back into it very slowly, but it was on my heart to film this video and just talk about where I'm at in life right now, because somebody else is probably going through this exact moment of transforming themselves and crossing over to a new you. It is hard. It's lonely. It's tough, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. So I'm just going to say, like, in closing, pray, be patient, go at your own pace with things. Even with your journey with God, go at your own pace. Like, it's not a race. It's just not. Like, once you start building a relationship with him and he really understands you, he know you anyway. So it's not a race. Just make time for him and lay out all of the things that you want to do and see what he tells you is a yes and a no. And if it's a no, just know that whatever he has planned, unmatched. So that's why I wasn't tripping about when I went to consult him about the clothing store. I wasn't mad about it. I didn't really feel no type of way, because I'm like, shoot, I'm over here about to put myself in some serious debt behind something that can wait. It can wait. It can wait. It can wait. It's gonna be an uncomfortable stage. You're gonna be uncomfortable, but be comfortable in that. Meaning, be content and be at peace. Once you get to where you're trying to control it, you have anxiety, depression, all the bad things that come from that will have you sick. I can remember I would be so stressed. A lot of the times that I have bad migraines was because I'm so stressed. So you don't want that stuff happening to your body, because a lot of things that happens to our body, it's self-inflicted. It just is. It's how we take care of our body. So your mental health is major when it comes to taking care of your body. Like, don't make yourself sick. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Find your inner peace, find God, and take time to just be. I have found so much peace in just chilling. Just chilling. I'm just gonna be me, put out good things. My energy is already top tier. Anybody who know me know we gonna have a good time when we get together. Y'all already know that. Yeah, it's time to turn it up a little bit though. It's time to turn it up. I can't say my break time is over, because like I said, I'm taking my time, easing back into things, but I'm ready. I know the creativity is there, and some things you just don't have to share right now. I hope you guys enjoyed talking with me. I enjoyed telling you what I've been dealing with, and hopefully, I don't want to put too much on it, but hopefully I can start doing some more of these to just help ease somebody's day, to help the next girl that is going through this know that on the other side is peace and is joy. And those things that you receive from God, those emotions are priceless. Like, I hope that this helped. And I'm gonna end this video because it's almost 6 o'clock. I gotta go to the store and get me something to eat. So I'm gonna cut this video short. But the next one, let me know if you guys want to talk more. I have more to say. I can come up with some more videos. Maybe the next video we could talk about how health and fitness and my eating habits played a part in my journey. So maybe we could talk about that next. But let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed this and what you would like to see me do next. I hope you guys have a beautiful night. Bye.